Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome all of you for this online session of the Sathya Sai Center of Arcadia. So we are going to today focus on Gayatri, because Swami said whenever the humanity faces challenges, the power of prayer is great. Now, as all of us know, there are many challenges to this humanity and all world because of this COVID-19. There are challenges for the health, physical and mental, economic challenges, and challenges with the family, the challenges regarding emotion, anxiety, fear. So in this situation, Swami says, if the whole humanity prays together with faith and love, there will be peace in the world, and we will get the strength and courage to face the challenges and problems in the world. So that is the power of prayer. So because of that, we have decided that we did it one time before. Now again, we will be having Global Akhanda Gayatri starting this Saturday at 8 a.m. on 15th, going on till 8 a.m. on 16th Sunday. So this will be all over the world. So we have Sathya Sai centers in 120 countries, and we are hoping a lot of them will be joining, which they did last time. So I encourage all of you to really be part of this prayer, which is like a great service. It is not only benefits us, it benefits the whole humanity, because there will be more peace, and then we will have also more peace internally, and we'll have the courage and strength. So this mantra, the Gayatri mantra, which we'll be chanting, so we should know the significance. There is a beautiful Kirtana by Tyagaraja. Telisi Rama Chintana Chai. That means when you do repeat the name of Rama, it is good. But Telisi Rama Chintana Chai, that means know the meaning and chant. Then you'll have that bhava, you'll have that enjoyment. Similarly, Gayatri by itself is a very powerful mantra. As they say, medicine, whether you know the chemical structure or not, it will give you benefit. But if you know the thing, then you will have a better precautionary measure. Similarly, when you know the meaning of Gayatri, you'll get the benefits more. This Gayatri mantra is also called Mola Gayatri, because there are many Gayatris depending upon the deities. Like there is Gayatri and Brahma, Vishnu Gayatri, Shiva Gayatri, Durga Gayatri, Saraswati Gayatri, Lakshmi Gayatri, and many Gayatris, Ganapati Gayatri. But this is the Mola Gayatri, also called Brahma Gayatri, which is the original one. That is why this Gayatri is called Gayatri Chandaso Mata. It is the mother of Vedas. It is the mother of Vedas. So this one, so that is, I want you to know the little history of that, how this mantra came about. So, you know, this sage, you might have heard, Vishwamitra. So for this mantra, for every mantra, there is a chosen deity, and there is a sage, and there is a meter called Chandas. Like we say, Ganapati Adarva Shisham, right? When we say, what is this? Ganapatir Devata. Devata is Ganapati. Ganesha Vidya, Ganaka Rishihi, Gayatri Chandaha. So you worship the Lord Ganapati, he is the Devata. And who is the Rishi? Ganaka Rishi. And who is the Chandas? Is Gayatri Chandas and Ganesha Vidya. So every mantra, he has a seer, a Rishi. So for Gayatri mantra, the seer, drashta, they call mantra drashta, they see the mantra in front of it. It's not like a poetic composition or literary composition like thought. It's spontaneous revelation in their high planes of consciousness when they meditate. That is why it is called divine revelation. So then when it comes, then it becomes really a mantra. Because what is mantra? Mananat trayate iti mantraha. By contemplating which, so we will be saved. Trayate, it saves. By contemplating which you save. And this Gayatri mantra, the seer, the sage, is Vishwamitra. What does Vishwamitra mean? Vishwa is the universe. Mitra means friend. He is the friend of the whole universe because he gave this wonderful gift of Gayatri mantra. And the deity is who? Savitur. That is why we say Savitur. So the chosen deity for this mantra is Savitur, which is sun, the brilliant sun is the. And what is the Chandas? Chandas is Gayatri Chandas. Because there are many Chandasas. Gayatri Chandas, Anushtup Chandas, many. But this Chandas is Gayatri Chandas. So the Vishwamitra is the sage, and the deity is Savitur, and the Chandas is Gayatri Chandas. So this is what the significance. Then you should know who is this Vishwamitra, what happened. So I want to tell a little story. People want to know how this Gayatri came about. So this Vishwamitra originally was a great king. His name was Kaushika. You know, there is a beautiful song of Kaushika Maka Samrakshaka Ram. So in a thing. So he's King Kaushika. So along with his army, he was going in the forest. And then he had to rest, and his army has to rest. So he wanted to have the blessings of sage Vashishta. He went to his hermitage. So he went to the sage Vashishta and Vishwamitra. That time he was king. He was not at Vishwamitra, not at Brahmarshi. He prayed to him, give his blessings. Then Vashishta is such a wonderful person, you know, he's kind, compassionate, he's a Brahmarshi. He says, no, having come, why don't you rest here, you and your army, I will feed you all. He says, are you sure? Because this is a hermitage, he wants to feed these thousands of soldiers. He says, no problem. Then he had this cow, divine cow, Surabhi, and then this is like a Kamadhenu, which is wish fulfilling. So he goes and tells, we need to serve this. And all the people were served a sumptuous feast, all the delicacies possible. They were all so blissful and very happy. Then instead of being grateful, that time he was a king, Kaushika, you know, kings have ego, pride, and greed. He says, I'm the king. I think I should have this cow because he wants anytime anything can. Then Vashishta nicely tells him, that's not for this a divine cow. It needs to be in a hermitage. It needs to be in an ashram. It should not be outside because it wants to be where there is a Brahmajnana. Because he's um, divine cow. It is not like ordinary cow. This guy is ego and pride. What are you talking about? I have all this army. I will tell the army, take that cow, take it away. So then all the army tries to go, and still Vashishta says, don't do that. Then still he tries to then Vashishta takes his Brahmadanda, just where he used to do his regular worship. He has the Brahmadanda, just a stick. They call Brahmadanda because he's a Brahmajnani. He has the power. He shows the Brahmadanda. Hey, then all the army, thousands of people, they fell to the ground. They don't wake up. Then this king got said, how can you do that? So then he himself wants to attack. Then he falls down. Then he realizes, my God, all this army, all my power, my kingdom is of no use in front of his Brahmadanda. So I need to be a Brahmarshi. So he decides, which is a good sankalpa. So instead of, he says, good, I am going to be just like Vashishta, Brahmarshi, I will get that same power. In competition, he wants to do that. But turns out finally good man. So he goes and does thousands of years of tapas. Then when he's doing that, like obstacles come first, he was doing on tapas, he was really getting a lot of power and spiritual strength and siddhis and all that. Then there is a guy, the king called Trishanku. So he wants to go with his own physical body to heaven, which is not a law of the universe. So he goes and asks Vashishta, I want to go with the same body to heaven. He says, no, no, that is not right. Should not do that. Then these kings are egoist. He goes to his sons of Vashishtas, can you send us? Your father said no. They get mad because they respect their father. We curse you, you will become ugly guy. So he becomes the king very ugly. Then he says, yeah, this Vishwamitra doesn't like Vashishta. He has hated. Let me go to Vishwamitra. Then he goes to Vishwamitra, just enemy of enemy is a friend, right? So because he is the enemy of his Vashishta, okay, I will teach. I will send him because he had so much spiritual power. Okay, send him up. Trishanku, go to heaven. Goes. And then Indra sees from heaven, this guy is coming up and up. He says, no, you can't come, go down. He pushes him down. He pushes up, he pushes down. So in between, he hangs head down, up. That is why they call Trishanku Sargam. Whenever you are not here, not there, there is a common saying, this is Trishanku heaven. That means you are neither up there because of his ego, that guy neither got benefited. And then he realizes his mistake. My God, I wasted all my spiritual powers and tapas for this thing. Then again he goes back and meditates. Then he goes on meditating. Then he gets seduced by this Manaka, that celestial answer. She comes and he gets seduced. The Manaka, the whole story. Then after a while he realizes, my God, my thing was to be a Brahmarshi. So how, for a spiritual seeker, how these are very great obstacles. These are lesson. First is pride and ego, power. First he wanted to show. Second is this, as Sri Ramakrishna says, woman and gold, Kamini Kanchana. So gets the weakness for the woman and then downfall. Then he realizes mistake. This time he doesn't want to do the mistake. He goes on doing meditation. Really he becomes spiritually strong. One pointed focus on God. Then he realizes, let me go to Vashishta and pay my regards to him, pay my respects. So he goes to Vashishta, and then he goes to his hermitage. And then as he goes there to offer, meanwhile, Vashishta was talking to his wife, great lady Arundhati. She is the very great Pativrata. So she is very chaste woman, a chaste wife. So they were talking. Vashishta said, this Vishwamitra, poor man is struggling. I'm trying to help him. He has all these obstacles in his way. His downfall. So I'm trying to help. Then Vishwamitra realizes how foolish I am. Still, I thought he's my enemy, but he's really my friend. He's showing me the right thing. He's trying to help me in my spiritual path. Then he falls flat at the feet of sage Vashishta, this King Kaushika. Then that time when he touches the feet of this Brahmarshi Vashishta, this whole mantra comes. This Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo, the whole Gayatri mantra. Because this is just a divine revelation, because he was just like a flute in the divine hands, just that flower, words flow. Because when Brahma appears after this tapas, Brahma blesses him. Before this, he goes to Vashishta. Brahma blesses, yes, now you are a Rajarshi, you are a Raja, but became Rishi, Rajarshi, you are a Maharshi. No, I want to be a Brahmarshi, he says. Brahmarshi, I cannot make you, Brahma says. You go to Vashishta, only he can give you, like somebody has to sponsor you. Go to Vashishta, only he can make you Brahmarshi. I cannot do that. I can make you Rajarshi or Maharshi. That is why he goes and wanted to, but meanwhile, he becomes. Then sage Vashishta says, now because he has this mantra, now you are a Vishwamitra, you are the friend of the whole universe, because you gave this powerful mantra which helps everybody in all aspects of life. Now you become a Brahmarshi. He gives him the title Brahmarshi. So that is the background, that is the power of this mantra. So thousands of years, millions of people have chanted this mantra and got benefited. That is why this is a part of the Sandhya. People do the Sandhya Vandanam, Trikala Sandhya. people, when they are initiated into this mantra, that is called Upanayana ceremony. Upanayana, the actual meaning, they think it is sacred thread ceremony. It is more than that. Upa means close. Nayana means eyes. You are close to God. By chanting this mantra, you will have the divine vision. You will become closer to God. That is the power of this Gayatri mantra. That is why it is called Gayantam Trayate iti Gayatri. Gayatri. Gayantam, the meaning who chants, Trayate iti Gayatri. So you chanting this, you will be really saved. That is the power of this Gayatri. So having known this, then what is this Gayatri mantra? As I said, we should know the meaning of the mantra. Now we know the history of the mantra. Then what is the meaning? So Gayatri has, as I said, Om. First it starts. Om represents what? Nirakara aspects of God. God is Nirakara and Nirguna. He is attributeless and formless. So the best representation for that is Omkara, Pranava. So this Pranavopasana is very much emphasized in all our scriptures. That is why even Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he says, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha. So just this Pranava itself is the symbol of the whole Brahman. That's why there's one Upanishad itself called Mandukya Upanishad, just talks about this whole Omkara. I would recommend everybody to read very short Upanishads, 12 verses, but very powerful, going deep into the meaning of Omkar. And actually the great sage Gautapada, who is the teacher of Govindapada, he wrote a beautiful Mandukya Karika. And even the Kathopanishad, it talks about Omkara. And this Mundaka Upanishad, they give beautiful example, like Om is compared like arrow. Actually, no, Om is compared like a bow. And Atman is the arrow. And Brahman is the target. So with the arrow of Atman, to the help of the bow of Omkar, you hit the target of Brahman and you realize that. And even Lord Krishna says in Gita, Om ityekaksharam Brahma. Om itself is equivalent to Brahman. That is the power. It represents the attributeless, formless. But this Nirguna Nirakara, it takes a form, human form. We cannot relate to the attributeless. So God in his infinite compassion comes. And this Sakuna and Sakara is Gayatri Mata. So we are going to actually have a video clip where Swami inaugurated this Gayatri. Gayatri is also called Panchamukhi. As I said, she is the Veda Mata. She is Panchamukhi, 5 faces. So what are those 5 faces that are contained in this Gayatri mantra itself? Om is the first phase. Bhur Bhuva Swaha is the second phase. Tat Savitur Varenyam is the third phase. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi is the fourth phase. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, fifth phase. So these are the 5 phases. And also the 5 phases, they are also called Panchabhutas. You know that Prithvi and Akasha, Anala, Anila, and Jala. So that means fire, water, earth, air. All this is also it represents Panchabhuta, 5 elements. And also it represents 5 koshas: Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. And also 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas, 5 pranas. So it represents many aspects of the thing, the Gayatri mantra. That is why. But this Bhur Bhuva Swaha, we explained about Om. What is this Bhur Bhuva Swaha? This is called Mahavritis. So what happened is in Chandogya Upanishad, there is a beautiful story. This sage Prajapati, he was doing meditation on the whole universe. When he was doing meditation, first on Prithvi world, representing the Prithvi, that is the earth, this Agni came, the fire god. And when he was contemplating on Antariksha, the astral thing, the Vayu came, the wind god came. When he was contemplating on this Swarga, that is the heavenly thing, this Aditya, that is sun god. So first is Agni, that is fire, then Vayu, wind god, then Agni. So all this came. Then again he went on contemplating on these things. Then next stage came from Agni. came Rigveda. The main Vedas. Main three Vedas are the original ones. Rigveda came from Agni, and from Vayu came Yajurveda, and from the Aditya came Samaveda. So this, and then he went on again contemplating. So from Rigveda came Bhu, and Yajurveda came Bhuvaha, and Samaveda came Suvaha. So these are the things, means essence of all the Vedas. That is why Swami says, Gayatri, Chandaso, Mata. Everything is contained in these three letters. Bhu, Bhuva, Suvaha. So Bhu representing the earth, and Bhuvaha representing the Antariksha, which is the astral world, and Suvaha representing the heaven. So that is next one. Om, Bhur, Bhuva, Suvaha. Then Tat Savitur Varenyam. What is Savitur? I said that is the deity for this mantra. Savitur is sun, God. Also called also Savitri. Savitur Varenyam. Varenyam means excellent, adorable. Tat, that Savitur, which is excellent, which is adorable. And then Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Bhargo means, Devasya means divine. That divine effulgence, I meditate. I meditate on the divine effulgence. We should know the meaning of every word. Then the last part, fifth mukha, is Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. So please illumine my intellect. That's why everybody wants your intellect to be illumined, right? Nobody doesn't want that. So these are that is why these five phases, Swami said nicely, and even the scripture said it is three things. One is, first is praise, adoration. You are saying, Om, Savitur, you are illumining the whole universe. So you are praising, adoring the mother. Then second is meditation. This is Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhimahi is meditation. First is prayer, first is adoration or praise. Second is you do the meditation. And third is prayer. Dhiyo Yona Prachodya. Please illumine my intellect. Because everybody, whether you are a scientist, whether you are a physicist, you are a regular management job, or you are a spiritual seeker, everybody wants their intellect to be illumined. That is why one of the great scientists called Professor Haldane, he said, this particular mantra should be inscribed in front of all the laboratories of the world, because it is, everybody wants, it gives the intuitive power. It is not just intellect. Actually, one of the scriptures say this: when you chant Gayatri, there are five aspects of our intelligence get illumined. First is Dhi, right? Which is Dhi is the spiritual heart. And second is Medha. Medha is the discriminative intelligence. And third is Prajna. That means our awareness. Our awareness will improve. And then fourth is Dhriti. You will get courage, and Sankalpa, willpower, you will increase. And fifth is the Dhruti, and there is another fifth faculty. It improves. It improves the five faculties, starting Medha. So Dhi, Medha, Prajna, and what did the other one I say? Dhruti, Smriti, memory. So all the five are covered now. So this is Dhi. So you see that you need Gayatri Mantra's blessings to remember that Smriti, remember. So first is this Dhi, Medha, Prajna, and Dhruti and Smriti. Because memory, if you are forgetting however much you read and learn, if you don't remember, so memory is also mother's gift. So this is the various aspects of this mother, the five aspects I covered, the five Mahavrittis, and the explanation of each word. Then, when should you chant the Gayatri? So we said they initiate us into Gayatri. Originally, supposed Trikala Sandhya. So in the morning, at the time of dawn, the junction, and then dusk. These are the two best times to chant. And then also, if you have time, do it in the Madhyana Sandhya. So dawn, dusk, and mid-noon. These are the things. And how many times? They say 108 times is good. But if you cannot do 108 times, you can do 12 times. If not, 3 times. Some times or other. If you can do all the time, it is better. So these are the good times, dawn, dusk, and noon. But you can be done anytime. But actually, Swami said beautifully when we always take a bath in the morning, right? Hopefully. So if you take a bath, you chant Gayatri, then that becomes Abhishekam for the Lord. So that means you are doing the Abhishekam for the Lord. Just chant Gayatri just during the shower. Actually, my son-in-law Vijay, I see him always chant loudly Gayatri. So I said the whole house gets benefited and he gets purified. The second is when you are eating food, we eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just before eating, you chant the Gayatri. That becomes prasad. We all eat, we all take. And third is whenever we are walking, when you chant Gayatri, that becomes a pradakshina. So just we all go around temples and all that. So when you do that, it becomes pradakshina. So you should really try to chant as much as possible this Gayatri, remembering the significance of that. Who can chant Gayatri? In the old days, some people introduced only the Brahmins can do or only men can do. Swami proved it wrong. Actually, the scriptures, Vedas say anyone, whether irrespective of the age, irrespective of the gender, nationality, caste, religion, or faith, anyone can chant because this is a universal mantra. So anybody gets sanctified. You need to be able to say this is a universal mantra. It is non-denominational and it really helps everyone in all aspects of the things. And actually, what are the benefits of this mantra? Swami himself has said many benefits. It gives for three levels. We all have problems, Ashanti, at three levels. One by ourselves. So the Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidaivika. Adhyatma means we create our own troubles. We may have physical illness, uh, diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, this. And we may have mental illness, fear, anxiety, doubt, depression. So this is our own. So it protects you for that. And adi bhautika, some of you people are your family or some work people, somebody else is giving you trouble. Sometimes it could be animals, it could be insects, anything adi bhautika from outside, any being caused, that is a trouble too. It will prevent that. Adi daivika, it could be unexpected disaster, so sickness, or it could be a natural disaster, something unexpected happens, adi daivika. So all these three types of things, this protects. That is why in one of the discourses, Swami beautifully said, Sarva Roga Nivarini Gayatri. So it removes all kinds of diseases. That means both physical, mental, COVID or whatever, SARS, whatever things. Sarva Roga Nivarini. Sarva Dukkha Pariharini Gayatri. So all kinds of afflictions, sorrows, tribulations, it will remove it. Sarva Vancha Pradayini Gayatri. All your desires it fulfilled. People say you want learning, a good education, pray to Mother Saraswati, goddess of learning. You want lots of money, bank balance, you pray to Mother Lakshmi, goddess. You want a lot of troubles or you want strength, Mother Durga. But here Gayatri embodies all the three. So it will give you good intelligence, good learning, it will give you good prosperity and give energy to face. So that is the power of Gayatri. There are many instances how many people were saved by chanting this Gayatri. It works as a kavacham. They say kavacham means like armor around you. Once you go on chanting this Gayatri, it protects you like an armor. Nobody can see that. Actually, I heard one of the devotees. He was a collector in one of the towns in Andhra Pradesh. So this person, he was very strict man, enforcing discipline. People didn't like that. So they try to do like a voodoo. They try to witchery things. So they try to harm him by doing tantric things. So there is a negative force. So this man always used to chant Gayatri every day. So then watch, there is this like almost like a protection around his house. This power Mother Gayatri is protecting, so that cannot, negative force could not come inside. So he shared that experience, how he was protected. So then it was confirmed later on. So it can protect against our own inside, outside influences, and unpredictable. So it is important we chant this Gayatri with faith and love, then Mother's blessings will be there. So actually, we have two videos clips. One is Swami inaugurating the Gayatri temple. This was done on October 10th, 1998. October 10th, 1998. So there is a short video clip. Watch beautifully Swami how he puts even a yantra when he was inaugurating in the foundation. He puts, that is why it has so much power, that Gayatri temple in Prasanthi Nilayam. A lot of you might have visited. So put the yantra underneath and inaugurates that. And also another video clip we have where Swami talks about the significance of Gayatri. So please join this coming weekend where we will be also showing various video clips of Swami's darshan and Swami's discourses and bhajans, and people all over the world will be joining. So this is the best satsang you can have. You'll be seeing Bhakta and Bhagavan both. So a lot of devotees you will see, and also darshan of the Lord. So, and thank you very much, and Jai Sai Ram.
जननी मां साई जननी
గాయత్రి మంత్రం అనేటువంటిది సర్వదైవతా స్వరూపము.
Gayatri mantra is the very embodiment of all forms of God.
ఇది ఒక మతమునకు కానీ, ఒక కులమునకు కానీ, ఒక లింగమునకు కానీ, ఒక స్థాయికి కానీ సంబంధించినటువంటిది కాదు.
It does not belong to any caste, any religion or any sect as such.
ఇది 9 విధములైనటువంటి వర్ణ స్వరూపంగా ఉంటుండాలి.
It is universal in its scope and has got 9 chief attributes of colors.
భూ భువః సువః తత్ సవితుర్ వరేణ్యం భర్గో దేవస్య. ఇది 9 రకములైనటువంటి వర్ణనలతో కూడి ఉంటుండాలి.
It has got 9 of these complexions associated with this mantra.
ధీమహి ఈ అనేటువంటిది ఒక ధ్యానమునకు సంబంధించినటువంటిది.
Dhimahi is something which pertains to meditation.
ధియోయోన ప్రచోదయాత్ అనగా నాకు మంచి బుద్ధిని అనుగ్రహించమని ఇది ఒక ప్రార్థన కింద చేరుతూ వస్తుంది.
And then we have the last two, where you talk about a prayer. It is in the form of a prayer to Lord that you be endowed with a proper
కనుక
intelligence.
గాయత్రి మంత్రము వర్ణన, ధ్యానము, ప్రార్థన ఈ మూడింటి యొక్క సమ్మిళితమైనటువంటి స్వరూపము.
So this Gayatri mantra is a mantra where you have these three coming together: a description, a sort of meditation, and a prayer as such.
మనము ఒక షాపుకు పోయి అప్పుతో మనము ఏదైనా సామాను పుచ్చుకొని వచ్చినప్పుడు ఈ అప్పు పెరిగిపోవటమే కాకుండా అప్పు వడ్డీ కూడాను పెరిగిపోతుంటది.
When you go and buy a certain thing on loan, not only does the loan get increased, but also the interest on it multiplies.
అట్లు కాకుండా ఆ అంగటి లోపల మనం నగదిచ్చి సామాను తీసుకుని వచ్చే ఈ అప్పు లేదు, అప్పుకు వడ్డీ పెరగదు.
On the other hand, if you are to give something for the sake of taking something from the shop, there is no loan to be cleared, nor is there any interest to be cleared.
మనం అప్పు తెచ్చుకోవటం వల్ల ఏమైపోతుండాలంటే మనకు నెలకు వచ్చేటువంటి యొక్క జీతం అంతా కూడాను అప్పుకు తగినటువంటి వడ్డీకే చెల్లిపోతుండాలి.
When you have borrowed something on loan, then you find that whatever you have earned, you got to be spending on clearing the loan and the interest thereof.
వడ్డీ చెల్లించడానికి ఇంత శ్రమ పడుతుంటే ఇంకా అప్పు ఏనాడు తీరేది?
It also is possible that the interest itself could be a terrifying one. How can you clear the loan by itself?
కనుక మనము ఎప్పటికప్పుడే కూడాను డబ్బిచ్చి మనం సామాను తీసుకొచ్చినప్పుడు ఈ అప్పు లేదు, అప్పుకు తగిన వడ్డీ ఉండదు.
So when you try and clear your dues, as and when you buy a particular thing, no loan, no interest.
కనుక తెల్లవారి లేచింది మొదలు గాయత్రి మంత్రం 3 పర్యాయములు ఉచ్చరించి తిరిగి రాత్రి పండుకునే సమయంలో గాయత్రి మంత్రాన్ని 3 పర్యాయములు ఉచ్చరించడం వల్ల మన పాపముల యొక్క పరిహారము ఆ వడ్డీ చెల్లిపోతుంది, అసలు అనేటువంటిది కూడా ఉంటుండదు.
So in the same manner, chanting the Gayatri mantra 3 times in the morning and then 3 times in the evening before you go to bed would take care of the fact that all your sins in the form of the loan and interest are cleared off.
ఈ విధంగా మంత్రోచ్చారణ చేయటం చేత మానవుడు అకర్మ స్వరూపాన్ని పొందుతున్నాడు.
By chanting the mantra thus with this feeling, then he can certainly transcend beyond this karma.
దీనిలోనే నిష్కామ కర్మ కూడాను ప్రారంభమవుతుంది.
And from what he does, he goes to the state of nishkama karma.
ఎప్పటికప్పుడే కూడాను మనము పవిత్రులుగా మనం మారిపోతుంటాము.
And then and there, you are sanctifying your lives.
అందుకోసమని చిన్న చిన్న పిల్లలకు గాయత్రి మంత్రోపదేశం చేయటంలో మరొక అంతరార్థం కూడాను లేకపోలేదు.
Now certainly there is an inner meaning in this Gayatri mantra being given to young children.
ధియో యోనో ప్రచోదయాత్. గాయత్రి మంత్రోపదేశం జరగక పూర్వము తాను ఒక విధమైనటువంటి మంకుగాను లేక సోమరిగాను లేక ఒక విధమైనటువంటి మొద్దుగాను ఉండవచ్చును. గాయత్రి మంత్రోపదేశం చేసిన తర్వాత చురుకుగా చదవటము, మంచి ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో పాస్ కావటము, తెలివితేటలు పెరిగిపోవటము, ఇలాంటివంతా మనకు ప్రత్యక్షంగా గోచరమవుతుంటాయి.
Now we have in this mantra the concluding words, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. The meaning is, before you have been given this mantra, you have been backward intellectually, mentally, a bit lazy, and a few negative points to your credit. But after you have been given this mantra, you have become sharper by the intellect, you have become more zealous, more enthusiastic, and certainly smart, and you certainly qualify to get better marks, better ranks, and first classes and whatnot.
సూర్యోదయమునకు పూర్వము ఏ విధంగా కూడా నువ్వు చిమ్మ చీకటి కమ్మి ఉంటుండునో ఆ విధంగా మనకు ఈ గాయత్రి మంత్రోపదేశమునకు పూర్వము మనకు అజ్ఞానాంధకారం అనేటువంటిది చీకటి కప్పి ఉంటుంటాది.
Before the rise of the sun in the morning, everything is enveloped in darkness. Even as the rays of sun shoot up, this darkness is dispelled. So also, as you have been given this mantra, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled.
సూర్యోదయమైన తక్షణమే ఏ విధంగా అంధకారం అనేటువంటిది పటాపించలమవుతుందో ఆ విధంగా గాయత్రి మంత్రం అనేటువంటి ధియో యోన ప్రచోదయాత్, ఈ యొక్క గాయత్రి మంత్రం అనేటువంటి కిరణములు అభివృద్ధి అయ్యే కొలది కూడాను మనలో ఉన్నటువంటి అజ్ఞానం అనేటువంటి దూరం పోయి ప్రజ్ఞాన సుజ్ఞాన విజ్ఞానముల తోపల మానవుడు వికసిస్తాడు.
The rays of the sun scatter and dispel the areas of darkness. Darkness has no place where the rays of the sun rise. So also, once your intellect blossoms forth by virtue of your having been given this mantra, your intellectual race will take care of the ignorance which has been persisting in you. Drive it away, drive it aside, and endow you with intelligence, with a lot of capacity to do things, and you certainly a sense of fulfillment.
నేటి నుంచి ఈ పిల్లలు గాయత్రి మంత్రమును 2 వేళల కూడాను ఉచ్చరించి మంచి గుణవంతులు, విద్యావంతులు, తెలివితేటలు గలవారిగా అభివృద్ధి అయి భారతదేశం నందు ఆదర్శవంతమైనటువంటి మూర్తులుగా రూపొందుతారని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నాను.
So from tomorrow, the children, by virtue of chanting this mantra in the morning hours and in the evening hours, may they be endowed with a rare intelligence which will take care of their fortunes, which will be presiding over their destinies. They would become highly qualified, they would become model citizens, ideals, so that the future of the country would be safe in their hands.